Hi, let's see. So this one was drying, and it got to the point where I thought I'd try a little bit of this intentional bloom technique. So it was getting pretty dry down here, and the darker brown was pretty much everywhere, and I didn't want it that way. And I will be doing some lifting, probably, as well as some more layering. But I thought it was just a good opportunity to kind of play with this idea of bringing in some clear water to kind of to push the pigment back to where it was coming from, but pushing it back to an area that's dried to a point where there's going to be this line of where they're having a hard time deciding who's going to win, the wet paper or the dry paper. And they sort of agree to disagree, and it makes kind of a, that cool watercolor bloom kind of look. The other thing I was just doing was outlining the inner part of the avocado, and this is a similar mix. A little bit lighter than I was using on the outer part. And this is this will, as I continue to paint the inside of just the fruit fleshy part of the avocado, one thing I can do is I'm going to let this color dry, and I'll scrub out a little bit to get a bit of a, so it's not really such a stripe, even though I don't know that I don't like that, so I think that's okay. So that's all I'm thinking for this video, or is it? I'm going to try to keep introducing a little bit of darker color down here. Seems like it went away more than I figured it would. I was just about to say, technically, I might be getting into some sort of dry brush kind of ideas. But not quite. Glazing on, just not very much at all. So that's going to create, probably an edge that I'm not crazy about. I'm not sure, but yeah, it is time to let that one go for all the way. Let's see, anything else I can do while I'm just sort of sitting here? I know eventually there's going to be sort of a little dark abstract shape in here. know if it was really looking like that or not, but that was just a little bit of the same color as the pit. Some of the burnt orange and indigo for a dark brown. What I do need to be doing is, I'm just kind of just winging this right now, but I should be looking at my source material if I'm wanting to do it similar to that. Let's see. To make this video worth your while, I think I'll actually try something that, if it doesn't go well, I'll deny I ever was here. Okay, not really. I'm going to layer on in this shadow area over here, this whole shadow. I'm going to start building that up. And even though this shape, the shadow shape, is next to some wet paint right here, I think it's going to be okay. I'll probably get kind of close to it, not so close that the green will start going into the pit. And even if it did start going into the pit, that might be kind of fun. But what I'm doing here is I'm going to glaze on some phthalo green blue shade and maybe add a little bit of ultramarine blue as it gets at the really dark parts of the shadow. And in fact, that's seeming a little bit too green to me. I'm going to bring in just a touch of peacock blue into that mix. Try to make it a little bit darker and a little bit cooler temperature-wise. And I am going to go all the way to the edge here. So right here is where I'm going to be really careful to not have those two shapes mingle their paints. Down here where it's even darker, bring a little bit more ultramarine blue. Let's see, it would be a little bit darker there too. Yeah, I don't know, it's just sort of lost some of my color. But not worrying about it too much, just getting a good first pass. I think I'll make things just a little bit darker in general as it goes down this way. Let me see, maybe even a smaller brush with if I just dab in a little bit of ultramarine blue right here. Maybe some peacock blue too. Yeah, I think the peacock blue is just a little bit more pure color, higher chroma. Okay. And by okay, I mean not okay. Just going a little bit darker while the paper is nice and open to more paint and more color. So as you can probably tell, I mean, the shadow I'm grading both this way. It's getting a little bit darker as it gets lower, just like everything else on the avocado, and it's going to be darker right where it's next to the pit, where no reflected light is going to be able to come in, or very little. It's drying a little bit too much up there, so I'm not going to push my luck too much, he said. Make sure if you're trying to get it darker that your colors, your mix is not too wet. I think it is doing some sort of maybe it's pushing back the color a little bit. Wasn't matching the moisture ratio very good, and probably could have just let it go, but anyways. Okay, come along. Woo! More later.